The possibility of a big housing problem in China is like a dark cloud hanging over the world's economy. When we dig beneath the surface and look closely, we uncover a massive crisis. China's real estate bubble has gotten way too big because people are getting too much and taking on too much debt. This isn't just a problem in China. It's like an earthquake that shakes up the whole world economy. As property prices crash, empty cities pop up, and millions of people are stuck in a dangerous game of owing money. So, what caused this real estate mess in China? In this video, we'll take a deep dive into China's housing market to find out. But before we continue, hit the subscribe button and turn on your notification bell so you don't miss out on any of our videos. Without further ado, let's dive right in. China is standing on the edge of a housing crisis, a bit like the big financial disaster we saw in 2008. Back then, huge banks like Lehman Brothers went bust, lots of folks lost their homes, and the whole world sank into a money mess. But what's happening in China now could be even worse. Think of it this way. Just like in 2008, China's got a real estate market that's going crazy, and house prices have shot up so high they're about to pop. Loads of people in China have put their money into houses, sometimes buying more than one to keep their wealth safe. Plus, a big part of China's money growth recently has come from building houses, making it a super important part of their money stability. Before the 1990s, China's money situation was slow and not exciting. But after that, China started changing really fast. They went from having just a little bit of money in 1994 to a massive amount, nearly $15 trillion by 2021. The secret to China's crazy growth? Well, one of the big reasons is real estate. Houses and apartments have been like rocket fuel for China's money growth. This stuff isn't just about building houses. It's also about all the services like renting and selling homes, making things to put into these homes, and creating the materials to build them. Here's a jaw-dropping fact. China has about 65 million empty homes. That's almost like all the people in France and half of Russia put together. These homes are empty because there's been a mad rush to build and buy houses, and lots of them are just sitting there, not being used or bought as fancy investments. China's real estate has been a bit of a tricky thing on its journey to riches. While it helped China grow fast and build big cities, it also made it hard for regular folks to afford houses. There's also a worry that things might get too crazy, and the whole housing market could fall apart. Before we dive deeper, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to this channel for more incredible life-changing content. Now, let's move on. The signs of a looming end to China's real estate party have become increasingly evident, casting a shadow of uncertainty over property developers, homeowners, and the government alike. China's decision to allow home ownership in the late 1990s ignited a spectacular property market boom, which in turn led to extraordinary wealth creation for many. During the first 5 decades of the People's Republic, there was no significant property market to speak of. Urban residents relied on state employers to provide housing, and all urban land was owned by the state, according to the Constitution. The seeds of China's real estate industry began to sprout in the late 1980s, when Hong Kong professionals provided valuable advice to mainland Chinese officials in cities like Shenzhen and Shanghai. They suggested borrowing a page from the British colony's playbook by selling land use rights to investors through long-term leases. This innovative approach immediately caught the attention of Chinese municipal governments, who saw it as a lucrative means to generate much-needed funds. This shift in policy marked a pivotal moment in China's economic evolution. The creation of a property market introduced new dynamics, including private developers, real estate investment, and the development of housing as both a commodity and an investment. It set the stage for the remarkable growth that China's real estate sector experienced in the ensuing decades. China's official initiation of its nationwide real estate market in 1998, with the allowance for urban households to purchase and own flats, ignited a breathtaking property market boom that was intricately tied to the nation's rapid urbanization. This transformative policy shift led to the migration of hundreds of millions of people into new apartments, and remarkably, property swiftly became the primary engine of China's economic growth. In this economic renaissance, Chinese municipal authorities emerged as significant beneficiaries, realizing almost overnight that they possessed substantial wealth in the form of state-owned land that was now sellable. Every local government eagerly joined the real estate fray, In the initial stages, this phenomenon created a virtuous cycle. The more land a local government sold, the more funds it could generate for its development projects. These funds, in turn, were often directed toward infrastructure improvements, further boosting land prices in a self-reinforcing cycle. However, the exuberant growth in the real estate market has not been without consequences. Rapidly rising property prices, speculative buying, and a surge in debt have created a volatile environment. Now, with signs of a potential slowdown and concerns over property market stability, the Chinese government faces a complex challenge in managing this crucial sector, with ripple effects that extend far beyond its borders. The exuberance was fragile because it depended on perpetually rising housing prices. When the demand, whether driven by genuine housing needs or investment aspirations, began to wane, the trajectory of prices reversed, triggering potential economic turmoil. One prominent issue stemming from China's housing market boom was the facilitation of excessive borrowing. All key players, including local governments, developers, and households, amassed debt at an astonishing rate. County Garden's debt crisis, previously seen as a financially robust entity, has reignited contagion concerns just 2 years after China Evergrande Group's default. Since the sector's 2021 debt crisis, 40% of Chinese home sales contributors, primarily private property developers, have defaulted. This has left many homes unfinished, suppliers unpaid, and a wide range of creditors, including ordinary individuals holding wealth management products linked to trust financing. Offshore bonds are trading at minimal values, and equity and debt markets lack liquidity as investors and creditors steer clear. The debt crisis could further hinder the property market and China's broader economy, where real estate is pivotal. Buyers may grow more cautious about private developers, and home prices in numerous areas could face additional pressure if County Garden resorts to fire sales for cash. China's housing bubble appears to be causing more significant damage than what official data suggests. While China relies on a survey-based method to measure home prices, recent private data indicates much steeper declines, with major cities experiencing drops of at least 15%. According to official government figures, new home prices have only slipped 2.4% from their peak in August 2021, while existing home prices have fallen 6%. However, data from property agents and private sector sources paints a far bleaker picture. In prime neighborhoods of major cities like Shanghai and Shenzhen, as well as in more than half of China's Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities, existing home prices have plummeted by at least 15%. In Hangzhou, near Alibaba Group Holding Limited's headquarters, local agents reported a staggering 25% drop from late 2021 highs. Industry experts and economists suggest that China's official home price indexes may be understating the severity of the downturn. This discrepancy is partially attributed to the traditional methodologies used, which struggle to capture market turning points accurately. This situation raises concerns among investors about the reliability of economic data in China, where access to information has become increasingly restricted. It also questions whether policymakers truly understand the market's dynamics as they implement measures to stimulate demand. And there's the risk that potential homebuyers may remain cautious, waiting for price declines to be reflected in the official data before entering the market. These factors combined show the complexities and challenges of assessing the true state of China's housing market amid its ongoing turbulence. The way China collects and reports home price data differs from many other countries. While many nations base their home price data on total market transactions, China relies on selective samples, which can lead to challenges in accurately reflecting the true market condition, especially during downturns. China's Statistics Bureau has clarified that raw data on new home prices is derived from all registered sales and purchases recorded in local housing transaction bodies. Existing home prices, on the other hand, are based on both sales of key projects and surveys. A notable difference in China's approach is that authorities do not publicly disclose home prices after a transaction is completed, unlike in many other parts of the world. The decline in home prices in various Chinese cities is becoming increasingly evident, despite some variations in the extent of the slide. In Hangzhou, near Alibaba's headquarters, certain neighborhoods have witnessed significant price drops of 25 to 28% from their peak around October 2021. As of March, even before a more recent slowdown, Over half of Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities had seen existing home prices fall by more than 15% from their peaks. This data was reported by Guolian Securities Company, citing information from existing housing transaction services provider KE Holdings Inc. These actual declines from the peak could be even steeper, as the agency only began compiling data from November 2018 as cautioned by economists. Top cities, which were once considered resilient against housing downturns, are not immune. In Shenzhen, for instance, existing home prices in at least 5 popular districts have slumped by 15% over the past 3 years. According to a July report by the Property Research Institute Liujia, Shenzhen remains the country's least affordable housing market. These price declines show the challenges faced by all data sources in China, whether government or private, when it comes to compiling a stable portfolio for tracking home prices. In the world of Chinese home price measures, there is no perfect gauge, and this complexity adds to the difficulty of accurately assessing the real estate market's health and dynamics. China probably can avoid a property market crash, but the sector can no longer be the engine that once powered its economy. What do you think? Let us know in the comments section below. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more informative content. Thanks for watching.